Peace be unto you. Dear viewer, you've seen the shootings of these 3 innocent people, execution style, and the media is asking whether it was a parking lot dispute. I'm talking about Diya, Razan, and Yusuf. And these people were young people who were helping the community. It's all over the news. But what I want to emphatically state, and I aver this point with all my heart, with 100% conviction, that media has been doing this for now over 2.5 decades, you see. Continuously, ever since this 24-hour news thing has been going on, continuously showing us in the bad light, dun 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 dun, the Muslims, if they pray next to you, that means after they pray, they have some kind of tendency to do violence. I mean, this, you never heard this rubbish ever. But now, because there's a cottage industry, there's an industry of about 30 people who are being, plugged in with monies, and then they're just talking, and then they have organizations backing them, which is a total sham for a free nation to come out with such rubbish news and to create so much hate and a continuous hate. Oh, the Muslims are bad. Look at this clip.
It's time to have a Muslims checkpoint line in America's airports and have Muslims be scrutinized. Yeah. You better believe it.
Go ahead, look at it.
Not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are...
You see how it is? I mean, it's a continuous hate process. Look at this clip.
So we do have to be on the lookout for people from the Middle East or from largely Muslim countries.
From 9/11 to the recent British terror bust, most of the terrorists we have faced have been Muslim extremists and of Arab descent. That's not an opinion, it is fact.
Did you see what he was saying? Did you see what she was saying? Look at this clip.
I mean, there's only one faith, for example, that kills you or wants to kill you if you draw a bad cartoon of the Prophet. There's only one faith that kills you or wants to kill you if you renounce the faith. An ex-Muslim is a very dangerous thing.
Did you see how they are trying to put in words into and thoughts into the people's mind? Look at this clip.
15 to 25% are radicalized. Now, not every single one of them wants to blow himself up, but they either support terrorists who want to blow themselves up, provide them with financing, provide them for money, provide them with logistical support. 15 to 25% have been radicalized.
After seeing this clip, wouldn't you think that Muslims are evil? And on a continuous basis, I just showed you 4 clips. On a continuous basis, this is what's happening. Now this person comes in and shoots them execution style, and the media is asking, and I'm watching CNN to see what is their reaction. And Mr. Wolf Blitzer, who has been doing totally negative reporting on the Muslims for years to come. He has an anti-Muslim bias, and it's known. This is not something that's hidden. He himself couldn't come out and say it openly, but he kind of felt bad. And was it a parking lot issue? Are there any presence in as police officers around Muslim? They can't even say Muslim. I mean, they've been to the Middle East. They can't say Muslim. Muslim, Muslim, Muslim. I mean, the whole joke is that you don't even know a whole entire 1.8 billion people, and then you can't pronounce even who they are, but yet they're evil and they're such and such. Now let me give you this scenario and see how you feel. That if this is not a hate crime, you see, it always happens to see when the crime is and who's doing the crime. If somebody else is doing the crime, what happens is that, oh, well, this is a deranged lunatic, oh, he lost it, he snapped, and it was such and such. These are, it's nothing to do with ideology, nothing to do with their religion, no religion was mentioned, nothing, right? But as soon as some people on methadone, trying to get off of other drugs, on methadone, right? And they catch them and they're some kind of a plot, they're doing, ideology on a continuous basis. I think it's so ludicrous and it's so low. And it's really poisoned the whole atmosphere that Muslims now have to be worried that, you know, somebody just come and shoot them dead. And I lay the blame squarely on the media's shoulder. They have this responsibility, and they're continuously in our faces saying that Muslims are evil, they're bad, they're this, they're the other. And I'm sure that if you've met a Muslim and you have dealt with them, you can see that they're not evil people. Of course, every community has their criminals. But, you know, to go from criminality to terrorism all of a sudden because of ideology, it's ridiculous. For example, let me show you this ignoramus's face, Mr. Craig Hicks, the one who killed these 3 innocent people, just shortened their life and just got rid of them and shoot them. There's no parking dispute. It's without a doubt hate crime. It's written all over it. But, you know, because you cannot make Muslims look as though, you know, you can sympathize with them. Muslims don't bleed. They don't eat. They don't have feelings. They have nothing. I mean, why would you do that, right? So this is how they portray us. But when something's out, so now that there's a backlash and people are saying, no, these are good people, kind kids and stuff like this. So even the news channels that hate us continue to say parking lot, and they put it in quotation, hate crime, question mark. You see, these are insidious things that they do, but, you know, their insidiousness has not gone unnoticed, right? So let me give this Greg Hicks, right, this bozo, this killer, this hateful person, let me show you.
Who is this man? Someone motivated by hate, or someone so obsessed by parking spaces at his condominium that he shoots to kill?
You would need to find something where he has given statements to other people, friends, colleagues, family members, that he had that degree of hatred. He's posted things that were more specific.
And Hicks' Facebook pages show a hatred of religion. If you plan to be enjoying heaven while your multitudes are tortured forever, then you are as much of a sociopath as the God that you worship, and a love of guns.
You see his face? Now I'm going to play some this scary music. What do you think? What do you think of this music? These kind of people, if they live next to you, they can come and kill you. And if you see a person like that, right? Look at his eyes. If you see people like that, and that skin color, and those eyes, and that kind of nose, and those kind of lips, oh, if they live next to you, don't be fooled with their barbecue making. Don't be fooled with their kindness. Can I help you with your groceries? Oh, if these kind of people, what if I were to continuously put this on every media channel and show only just these kind of people? Oh, you know, this European kind of looking kind of people. What would you think, right? So if I bombard you with these propagandas, false information on a continuous basis, you would also start developing hate for these kind of people, right? I mean, if you show them as ones who were driving the slaves and slashing their backs and taking their babies away and selling the women and separating families and causing them immense grief until some slaves would die out of depression, huh? What if I keep showing you those pictures and continuously bring it to your face? I say, oh, this is reality, and if they live next to you, but where would the justice be? So the slave masters' grandkids, I mean, they have no responsibility for what their grandfather did or grandmother did, right? At the same time, if I were to do that, that would be not correct. So why are we doing this to the Muslims? Just think about it. Whenever there's a crime, Muslims are to blame, and all of a sudden ideology. We must get to their mosque. We must see the imam. Oh, is he preaching? What is he? Oh, ideology, right? And as though ideology is now the only word in their lexicon, and they have no other words, because these talking heads are almost illiterates. They're not educated, depth people. They're people of surface. They just want blitz, this kind of, ooh, oh yeah, buzzwords, here we go. Oh, ideological. I could even make a song for you for that. So I want to today affirm my point that media has created this environment of hate. That Saudi sister that was stabbed to death in London, that Egyptian sister also in London who was pregnant, who was killed. And these are all the media that is actually forcing people. So yes, 100,000 people will not do it, But 1 out of 100,000 people on a continuous basis, if they keep hearing that, oh, these people are evil, oh, immigration, stop the immigration, as though, you know, well, can't we stop the oil also? How about, you know, stop going to Malaysia, stop going to Singapore, stop going to all these places, right? Muslims live there too, right? So I think the problem here is that we need to have a balanced discourse and not this double standard. So media, I lay the blame 100% on you. You have created an environment of hate and you need to stop it. And there need to be lawyers that actually should be challenging that. As soon as you challenge, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Only when it comes to Muslims there are freedom of expression and freedom of speech, right? Yeah, this is called bigotry at its best. That's what it should be called. And I make my point and I make it clear, and I hope this is a point of understanding and a starting of a discussion and a dialogue between everyone. As long as we can hear each other, we can come to terms with each other. As long as everyone is shouting on two ends and this ubiquitous kind of news, they call it news, and let me put it in quotation, so-called transmission on a daily basis and on an hourly basis, on a minute basis, I think this is pitting people together. Let's talk. Let's call the spade a spade, and let us see how we can get forward as good people. Take care of yourself. Peace be upon you.